Alabama basketball is one day away from their showdown against UConn, a team that has never lost in the Final Four. Can Alabama be the team to hand them their first L? They had some travel issues. Nate Oats talked about that. We're going to get into that as well. And we're going to talk about some big-time prospects that are in Tuscaloosa today to watch Alabama practice and get a look at the facilities and the city and the campus at the University of Alabama. All that and more, including Big Sexy Elmo, coming up right after this on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, man. That is a great way of sending over a Roll Tide. And it lets everybody else know that you love Alabama. Hit the bell so you know when we're live or dropping new content, and share with your friends. All right, let's get this thing started. What do you say, everybody? There he is, Brett Elmore from the Brett Elmore Show, the fastest growing radio show in Alabama, WJLX Radio, Jasper, Alabama, Walker County, at Brett Elmore Show, Big Sexy Elmo in the house. I'm broadcaster Mick on the socials, Mick Gillispie. A hearty Roll Tide as Bama basketball heads into the Sweet 16. For the first time ever? No. The Elite Eight for the second time ever? No. The Final Four. The Final Four. The four.
How sweet it is, baby. From going sweet to elite and now to the Final Four.
It's amazing.
Man, it's great.
It's amazing.
I love it. It just it sounds so good. Alabama is playing in the final weekend of college basketball for the first time ever. We're in the Final Four, and everybody's excited about it. I know we have watch parties going on. Even in Tuscaloosa, man, that's going to be so exciting there at Coleman Coliseum. It'll be amazing to see how many fans show up, and it'll be a great time. And that the strip will probably be active after the game, one way or the other.
Oh yeah, I think it's an easy, thing to see coming. I mean, look, if Alabama wins the next two, if they win these two games and win the national championship, I mean, it would be a colossal upset, but it would also send the strip into a tailspin. I mean, can you imagine? We're used to celebrating for football, but to celebrate for basketball, Rounders put out a video in their bar when we got to the Final Four and they had like the smoke cannons and, confetti and loud music.
Yeah. All the things that I love.
Yeah. Vegas.
And the thing too is if we were to win the national championship or go to the national championship game, I may go to Tuscaloosa and watch it just to be around that atmosphere. And if we win it, I would probably climb a light pole and take my shirt off.
Yeah. Look, I think that's a great idea.
In the air.
I think that's a great idea. And I think people would like that. Or maybe you could get a tattoo of Grant Nelson's mustache across your face.
That
would
way.
You agree to that? Would you agree to that?
If we won the national championship, I think I could get some sort of mustache with a GN. And the N goes down to NCAA, and then the stash. I could do that.
Well, UConn's had all kind of travel issues. I can't imagine a world where Alabama had a plane, but the pilot couldn't fly the plane because he didn't have enough flying hours or whatever the deal was.
Yeah.
But you were talking about this yesterday, but Nate Oats just makes me laugh because I don't know if he's trolling them or not, but him talking about this, just let's put it up there because it is so funny. Just listen to what he says here.
Not quite sure what happened with the plane. wasn't me. I didn't send anybody over there to mess with the mechanics. I'm sure he's conjured that up in his head already. But I did get a good night's sleep last night, so it's nice. But I'm sure he'll be fired up and ready to go Saturday. It'll be fun, and then we'll touch base after the game.
Yeah, Nate, how many hours of sleep did you get?
I got a solid 7 to 8 hours in a bed, not on a plane.
They got in at 3:13.
That's not I am glad I'm not the ops person for the University of Connecticut basketball team during this trip. That's for sure.
Yeah, right. And look, if UConn loses, it'll be they've been to 5 Final Fours and they've won it every time they've been. And you're talking about a basketball powerhouse, man. I mean, not just the men, but the women. Those championships that UConn women have won, they're both in the Final Four again this year. And Alabama's got this, obviously this huge underdog status, 11.5-point underdog. It's going to take, we've all talked about it. It's going to take Mark Sears and Aaron Estrada hitting a lot of threes, and getting some help from the guys off the bench. Everybody on the team can pretty much hit a three. They're going to have to do that.
Probably take between 14 and 16 threes to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
And then playing really good defense, and I think I mentioned this on the show yesterday about Coach Oats saying, we're playing with house money. They can be loose, they don't have to be uptight. Everybody's, everyone thinks they're going to lose the ball game. This is all setting up to be, and I may be disappointed about this, but I think this is setting up to be a really good basketball game. This trip has not started out well for UConn, getting in at 3:00 in the morning. That's not good. They landed at like 3:00 in the morning, so there's no telling what time they got to sleep. So this trip has not started well for them, and I'm hoping that it doesn't end well for them tomorrow night.
We're not hoping that it ends well for them at all. But if it didn't end well for them, then that means it would end well for us, or at least getting to the championship game. But it's just it really is a monumental accomplishment for this program. But the thing about it is, I get the vibe that these guys, like you said, playing with house money. I mean, let's go out in a blaze of glory. If we're going to lose, let's lose playing the way that we play, doing our thing.
Yeah, let's go out there and let's play our game. And no reason to be uptight. It's going to be a huge stage, but get out there, play your game, and let's see what happens in 40 minutes. I mean, you never know. That's why they line up and they play the ball games. That's and they deserve to be there. They deserve to be in this Final Four, and I can't wait until tomorrow night to watch it.
Yeah, going to be fun. All right, let's switch gears here and talk some football, some big recruits in town today. And one guy's committed to Alabama, Antonio Coleman, Big Tony, as he's known, the 4-star defensive lineman, Saraland High School. This was one of the big gets for Coach DeBoer.
Yeah, and Coach Roach, he was the one that was the primary recruiter there for Alabama. But I think we've talked about him before. He's committed. He's 6'2", 285, and he's a big dude. Saraland, good football program, good tradition there. He committed, I think, on March 2nd. He still has an unofficial visit to Auburn. Or no, he did visit Auburn, but he committed to the Tide, right? And last year alone, 62 tackles, 22 and a half tackles for loss, 4 sacks. This guy's a big dude, and he's a big time player that is definitely going to fill a need there for the Crimson Tide at 6'2", 265.
And he's in Tuscaloosa, and that's a good sign. He was at Auburn. We flipped him from Auburn, right? From us to Auburn back, so he likes to flip. We would keep him comfortable and happy to get him on campus.
What a great weekend to be on campus, too, with all this Final Four stuff. And it's going to be such an exciting weekend in Tuscaloosa anyway. So it's really a good time for him to come.
Another guy that's going to be there is Noah Grubbs, a 4-star quarterback from Lake Mary, Florida, 2026. He's starting to find that meteoric rise as far as the recruiting rankings. Rivals has him as a 4-star. He'll be a 4-star in all the services here soon.
Yeah, he'll be a 4-star with room to grow because, like you say, he's that's the class of 26. So, Arkansas, you got the major players there looking at him. Arkansas and Auburn and Colorado and Duke has even been mentioned. This guy's got a strong arm. Because he also plays baseball and he's a slinger there. But in 2022, as just a freshman, he completed over 50% of his passes, 51%, for nearly 1,600 yards and 17 touchdowns. And that was just as a freshman. Last year, he passed for over 3,600 yards.
Wow.
So he basically he more than doubled his stats. 49 touchdowns that he threw for, and 4 rushing touchdowns. So this kid, he's going to be a prized possession, I think, for someone. And good to see him on campus.
Yeah. I mean, you went through some of the list. Florida thinks they're going to get him, right?
Yeah.
Notre Dame, Michigan, Central Florida, all in there. Virginia Tech, Texas A&M. I mean, this guy's got a list of offers: Miami, Penn State, Ole Miss, Auburn. You said Ohio State, UAB, West Virginia, Duke. I mean, he is one of the guys that will be in this next year one of the most sought after quarterbacks because he can sling it, man. He just has that deep ball that he can throw. The size. You're talking about a kid that's 6'4.5" and 195 pounds. So he's got the size, he's got the frame, and so when you're looking for your next quarterback recruit, this guy checks all the boxes, as they say.
Yeah, he checks all the boxes, and it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But you're right, everybody's kind of after him, so that just shows you what kind of player this guy's going to be. And yeah, Florida, they think they're going to get him, and of course, all the Florida schools, they all probably think they're going to get him because he is from Lake Mary High School there in Florida. But it's just a short drive up to T-Town. Yeah,
short drive to T-Town. All right, what do you got going on? I know you're going to be. Today's the day before Christmas, right? With the basketball game tomorrow night, right? It's the night before Christmas.
Yeah, it's the night before Christmas, and all through the house, everyone is just patiently waiting for round ball time. And what is that other recruit that we're going to have in town? Is it Laganza Hayward?
Yeah.
He's going to be in town too. And I wanted to mention him before we got off of here. Hayward is going to be like one of the prized possessions that comes out of the state of Georgia. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. He's a safety. Alabama, Florida State, Tennessee, USC, the usual suspects. But this guy is kind of like a rare breed. He's really, really good. He has the wingspan measurements that everyone loves. But he's played on both sides of the ball, at wide out and as a DB. So you could probably classify him really as an athlete, but he's going to be a guy that most teams will use probably as a DB. And he's a lot of people are talking about this guy, maybe one of the most prized players coming out of Georgia. in the class of 2025. He plays at Toombs County High School in Lyons, Georgia. Some people have him, well, most everybody has him as a 4-star. So the high school he plays at, Toombs, he played both ways. They went 9-1 and went to into the playoffs and everything in the AA competition. But 48 tackles last year, but he caught 26 passes for over 700 yards and 7 touchdowns. And also something that a lot of people are eyeing is he is going to be he could be a threat too on special teams. So he's the guy that's going to be in T-Town as well.
Yeah, well, you could always use guys on special teams. Remember when Kool-Aid stopped catching the punts last year? Yeah. Like, who's going to do this now?
Yeah. We can always use, this guy returned a kickoff for a touchdown last year in his high school career. So yeah, he's somebody that he's an all-around really, really good athlete. I mean, he runs track, he plays basketball.
Right.
Guy's the real deal. So we're going to keep an eye on him.
Yeah. All right. Well, good show, guys. Get in the comment section. Was reading through those, making me laugh. A lot of you guys, some of the funny stuff you guys say. And tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow's a big day. We'll cover football practice, which happens again tonight. And then tomorrow we'll be talking basketball, and who knows? Fingers crossed. Maybe Alabama can shock the world as an 11.5-point underdog. Don't forget to check out Brett Elmore on WJLX Radio every morning with the Brett Elmore Show. Great app, great signal, which is in Birmingham now too, right?
102.5 HD3. You can get us there. And like you say, all the major platforms say, Alexa, play Brett. And it won't work, but you'd have to say, play WJLX or whatever. But anyway, appreciate you folks tuning in, and we have a great time.
All right, roll tide, everybody.